Hi, my name is Ginger Wagner, and this is my Genius Hour. My goal was to learn or perfect 4 different tumbling passes over the next 8 weeks. I planned on working on a new pass every 2 weeks. I wanted to achieve my standing tuck, my standing back handspring tuck, a round off back handspring layout, and a round off back handspring reversal. What I wanted to learn the most over these 8 weeks was the technique behind why we do the skills the way we do. Throughout our lives, we get told to do this and that, and we never get told why. It's the same in tumbling, so I wanted to learn the reason behind why we do our skills the way we do. Up first was my standing tuck. I started working on this skill when I was 12 years old, and I've never been good at it until this summer when I started working the hardest on it. Before, when I learned my standing tuck, I was 12 like I said. I had never learned how to do it correctly, and I basically taught myself. So when I do it, I throw my shoulders back and just pray I land. After a couple practices, I learned what I needed to fix. I needed to make sure I wasn't throwing my shoulders back because the more you throw them back, the more your tumbling is just going to go straight back and you're not going to be able to land it. I also needed to push off the ground harder so I would land my tuck with no problem. Secondly, the pass I wanted to work on next was my standing back handspring tuck. I first started working on this pass almost 2 years ago. While trying, I injured my back and I had decided to come back to this pass now. At the beginning, when I first started throwing this pass again, I had to start on a bouncier floor. My legs were so far apart in my back handspring and I was taking a huge jump before, which was ruining all the power I was getting from my flip-flops. Now, I changed the jump to a step because the step is going to give me more power than the jump ever was going to. I am also now trying to keep my legs more together than I ever have before, and I've gotten more used to doing this skill, so I was able to move to a harder surface. Then, I wanted to work on my round-off back handspring layout. This pass was one I've never gotten before, and I've always wanted to have it, but the opportunity just never came to learn it until now. Several years ago, like my standing tuck, I taught myself my layout. I was never doing one, and I didn't realize it till a couple months ago. Looking back, I was doing a pike back instead of a layout. And then this is the video, and the last skill I do is what I thought was my layout, but is really a pike back. Starting out, I first started to work on my new layout on the tumble track. I had to make sure I had all the parts in it before I started throwing it on the floor. I needed to make sure I had my legs back after my flip-flops to make sure the tuck goes straight up in the air. And then I wanted to make sure that my legs stayed straight the entire time and didn't pike down like in the first video. I needed to be stiff as a board. Now, after working on this over the 8 weeks, I have a brand new skill and that is being done correctly, and it also helped them put in my cheer routine for this year. Lastly, I wanted to work on my round-off back handspring reversal. This is my last pass I was trying to achieve, and I have never attempted this skill before the 8 weeks have started. Now, due to the time restraints and working on multiple Now, due to time restraints and working on a multitude of other passes while at tumbling, I never got to finish my reversal pass. I did begin working on it while on the tumble track, but it only really led to many belly flops. But as one thing didn't work out, another big thing did happen. I got a completely new pass. I got a round-off whip tuck, and this is completely new for me. I've always watched people do it online, and now I finally have one too. In the end, I did achieve my goal of learning or perfecting 4 different tumbling passes. They weren't exactly the ones I started with, though. I did learn more about why I need to put my arms a certain way, or put my feet back, or just keep my shoulders in line with my back. This whole project also made me work a lot harder than I ever had before, and overall, I do believe I have accomplished and crushed my genius